It's spooky season and we're getting closer to the holidays. This means so many games. Prepare for the 10 games we're most excited to play in October 2021. That's it. We're in months ending in and we all know that means there's going to be more games we can shake our perfectly carved Halloween pumpkins at. After a quiet summer, October 2021 has a satisfying combination of serious AAA heavy hitters, a relaxing indie, and some all-out scares for All Hallows Eve. This means that whether you want to chill with some voxel fishing or take on spirits with only a camera to defend yourself, there will be something here that'll be right up your creepy street. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you never miss another video from us, and let's count down 10 of the best games you're going to want to play immediately in October 2021. Nothing screams Far Cry more than a terrifying villain willing to stop at nothing amidst a chaotic and explosive guerrilla revolution. Welcome to Far Cry 6's Yara, a dictator-led country of war and violence where we'll be armed with all kinds of ludicrous weaponry and presumably asked to tick our way through a murderous to-do list. And of course, that means absurd guns, but also quirky characters, and most importantly, the team of animal companions that Far Cry 6 calls amigos. Here we'll be defending the gold-toothed croc called Guapo, and pierced rooster called Chicharron, and of course, the adorable but deadly Chorizo. Oh, and there's a CD gun that plays different tracks, including... I mean, sure. But what if you didn't want to kill people with analog media on October 7th? What if you just want to go fishing instead? Well, that's where Moonglow Bay comes in. This gentle, voxel-style RPG is about bringing life back to a 1980s coastal town and a struggling business. Here we'll have to climb the fishy ranks as a rookie angler, all while building relationships in the town and appreciating those watery views. There are more than 100 species to find in the watery deep, before we try not to think about their lives below the waves as we cook and sell recipes to the townsfolk. And even better is the fact that if you've been dreaming of fishing with friends, there's drop-in, drop-out co-op for some real fun times. Yes, real fun. I went there. Let's be very clear. Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 were two of a kind. Nothing can replace them in our undead hearts. Well, until the same devs rock up with another acid vomit-drenched squad-based monster shooter with a number in the title. Back 4 Blood looked like the perfect dizzying murder concoction we've been clamoring for all these years. Slews of different monster types to mow down between safe rooms, and a sassy script from our tired heroes.
God, I love Mondays.
And if you're sick of being on the trigger of things all the time, there's even a competitive multiplayer mode where you can play as the monstrous Ridden and really make your friends pay for leaving you alone in that room that one time. Remasters of our favourite games don't always feel necessary on PC, where we've kind of smugly had the best version anyway. But for some titles, we sit up and take notice. The Crysis Remastered Trilogy is that kind of experience. Whether you played the originals in all their glory, or this will be your first experience of Crytek shooters, these single-player campaigns are truly exhilarating. And this time around, Crytek promises ultra-high quality textures, improved depth of field, and yes, as we know from last year's individual release of the first Crysis Remastered, you can play in 8K if you've got the graphics card of your dreams. Don't worry if you don't though. Suiting up with Crysis has never looked quite like this. DICE's shooter is back for 2021 and things are looking very different. Battlefield 2042 is ditching a story campaign and concentrating on delivering the ultimate multiplayer experience. It doesn't mean there's no story. In fact, this is a fascinatingly stressful world where food and power shortages have turned humanity into warring factions. But the studio has used this as an excuse to revamp its class system. Battlefield 2042 introduces what DICE is calling the Specialist system, which gives us one unique specialty and trait, but still gives us the freedom to personalize the rest of our loadouts so we can play our way. Even more exciting is the introduction of the Battlefield Portal, where you can play entirely customized sandboxes straight from previous games for completely unique experiences that still feel like pure Battlefield. The good thing about the Dark Pictures Anthology is that we know what we're getting now: cinematic interactivity with friends as we try to survive another horror subgenre. Where Man of Medan delivered watery scares and Little Hope let us explore folk horror, House of Ashes gives us the middle of the Venn diagram between claustrophobia and demonic terror as a military unit explores an underground Sumerian temple.
What the hell is this place? Pass. Flunked history at school.
They're looking for chemical weapons, but what they find instead is something that means not all of them are going to get out alive. From what we've seen so far, the Dark Pictures' now customary fixed camera angles look like they deliver antagonizing tension as we explore the sandy darkness. Oh, and just because this lot have guns, it's really not going to make you feel any better about wandering around underground. 2021 continues to be an incredible time to be a Marvel fan. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is turning our expectations upside down with this new action-adventure. Instead of playing as the whole smart-talking team, we're in control of just Star-Lord. While this initially might seem like an odd choice, especially when we really want to play as Groot, Eidos Montreal want us to feel like we're in charge of the crew with decisions that actually matter. Suddenly, amidst the neon colors and an iconic new soundtrack, our management skills have to come into play, and we can find out if Star-Lord is just terrible at HR or whether it's impossible to wrangle a group of heroic misfits. We're guessing the latter, but it looks like it's going to be an absurd amount of fun to find out.
Maybe Gamora's right. We should try selling Groot instead.
What?
Really?
This is an affront to democracy.
It might arrive at the end of October, but if you're looking for just one game to play on PC for the rest of the year, it could easily be Age of Empires 4. It's been a long time coming since its announcement in 2017, and remasters and re-releases not included, more than a decade since the last official numbered entry in the RTS series. Well, now history is back, and there are going to be 8 civilizations available to play at launch. Amongst them will be the English, Delhi Sultanate, French, and the Holy Roman Empire as we once again explore huge maps for resources and construct economies like glorious historical gods. 35 missions await that cross more than 500 years, with campaigns including the Norman Conquest, 100 Years' War, and the Mongol Empire. So, plenty to be getting on with then. As we creep closer to Halloween, it's only fair to mention the release of Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater. Those brave souls who had a Wii U and dared play back in 2014 will know that this isn't a brand new game in the series, but for the rest of us, this is a fresh slice of terror. Perhaps you've lived your life until now oblivious to the truly frightening premise of this series. Here you are armed with just a camera to defend yourself against the horrifying spirits that await in this world. This is known as the camera obscura, and the only way to deal damage to your foes is to let them get as up close and personal as possible before you click the shutter. Honestly, we might not be ready for this. And finally, last but definitely not least, October 28th brings us the full release of Riders Republic. If all this year's live sport has left you hungering for extreme speed, but perhaps not the broken bones that would come with a tumble, Ubisoft's open world racer might be for you. Here we can strap ourselves onto snowboards, don flying wingsuits, and ride bikes across a sprawling open-world map of all kinds of weathers and terrain types. And it looks absolutely chaotic. The world is made up of multiple US national parks, so we'll be exploring Yosemite Valley, Mammoth Mountain, and Bryce Canyon, among others, all while going head-to-head with more than 50 online players. If it looks like a more realistic version of Fall Guys to you, you might be onto something. So that's 10 of the most exciting games to come in October. Let us know which ones will be day one purchases for you in the comments below. Drop us a like if you enjoyed the video, and remember to subscribe to Logitech G for more features just like this one. If you do already subscribe, thanks! You can hit that notification bell to know exactly when our next video lands.